Bye. See you later. Ciao.
Stage.
Manuel, take care. Bye, take care.
OK. So, aujourd'hui, on s'en va ouvrir un compte de banque. Puis après ça, on va faire un Q&A pour toutes les gens qui me demandent des questions par rapport à l'immobilier, le marché immobilier au Mexique. Manuel, c'est lui à qui vous devez.
Bonjour, guys. Bonjour.
Il parle aussi le français. Fait que je m'en vais m'ouvrir mon compte de banque parce que, bon, j'habite ici. Fait que mon ami Manuel va m'aider à faire la traduction parce que mon espagnol s'en vient, mais pas 100%. Fait que je m'en vais faire ça, puis je vous tiens au courant. Déguise, esti. Avec ton one eye.
Moi aussi, je peux faire bien des affaires en effets spéciaux.
Do it. Do it. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? J'ai réussi finalement à avoir mon compte bancaire. Faut que je retourne dans 3-4 jours pour aller signer puis récupérer mes cartes bancaires, ma carte de crédit et tout. Puis une chance que Manuel était là parce que mon vocabulaire en espagnol en termes de vocabulaire financier est comme pas encore là. Mon espagnol est quand même bien, mais je suis pas encore rendue là. Et non, je suis très contente parce que finalement, je vais pouvoir être autonome et pas dépendante sur mes cartes du Québec, mes comptes du Québec. Donc, pour habiter ici, ça demande beaucoup de temps, de paperasse et surtout du temps, je le répète, parce qu'ici, les choses, c'est slow. Fait que si vous voulez venir vous installer ici, soyez assurés que venez préparer, ayez de la patience, parce qu'ici, vous en avez besoin. Là, on s'en va faire Taco Tuesday. On va aller manger des tacos au Senti Bar dans le centro de Playa. C'est un de mes beach clubs vraiment préférés de Playa. Et on va faire un Q&A pour toutes celles et ceux qui vont avoir des informations comment immigrer au Mexique.
You want to know more how to invest in Mexico?
Contacto Manuel! That's it, right? Contacto? OK. C'est pas très email friendly. Je pensais pas que c'était fried de même. C'est pris en tabarnak. So, it's a funny situation. Because it's Taco Tuesday. I ordered tacos and he didn't order tacos. He ordered a plate of like a whole dinner, like tuna and everything. He's like, let's go get Taco Tuesday, and I got tacos. And he's the only one that's not tacos.
Sorry, I forgot.
Okay, so là, je vais faire un Q&A. Lui, il va parler en anglais parce que, pas français, il parle espagnol. C'est soit, vous avez deux choix, anglais ou espagnol. Je vais poser des questions en français, puis je vais y poser en anglais par la suite, puis lui, il va répondre en anglais. So, la première question, c'était, c'est quoi la première procédure pour acheter une propriété au Mexique? What is the first procedure to purchase a property in Mexico?
Okay, I think the best way to get into buying a property here in Mexico is to know where do you want to live, you know, because each city in this coast has their own vibe, their own unique way of living. Mm-hmm. So, for example, you fell in love directly with Tulum.
Yeah.
From the instant you came here the first time. So that's like the first point where you start, because Cancun has a way of living, Puerto Morelos has a way of living, Playa has a way, and each city has their own unique vibe.
And how would you describe like Cancun from Puerto Morelos, from Akumal, from Tulum? Because a lot of people don't know, like Cancun's a big city, Playa's a big city, Akumal it's a small city, Puerto Morelos is a small city, Tulum is a small city. So what is the difference that distinguishes each city? C'est quoi la différence entre chaque ville? Parce que il y a Cancun, Puerto Morelos, t'as Akumal, t'as Chimuyil, t'as Mahahual qui est encore plus loin, t'as Tulum. C'est très, 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 très gros, le coastline du Mexique.
Yeah, like you said, Cancun is the biggest city, is the oldest city of this side of the coast. So
You also have Yucatan, you have Merida.
So Cancun, for example, it has more jam traffic than the other cities. It also has more nightlife, like you will find in the old cities where most of the foreigners come from. Playa, coming in process. Puerto Morelos is more a small town. It's also like a fisherman town. A lot of people go over there when they like to diving and do fishing. So a lot of expats, they're looking for a place to live full time. They're looking for something like Puerto Morelos, Playa, Puerto Venturas, and Acuma, you know?
Yes, Puerto Venturas, yes.
Yeah. So coming down to the south, we have Playa del Carmen, which is where we are right now. And here it's kind of in the middle, you know? It's not so crowded and so polluted as Cancun. You don't have so many traffic like Cancun, but it's not so small like Puerto Morelos. So it's kind of in the middle. You have nightlife in the 5th Avenue, which is the most famous pedestrian street we have here. You can find over there restaurants, nightclubs, places to go on dancing, which we're going to take Oliver soon. Salsa dancing.
Yeah. And it's funny because I never liked Cancun. I don't like the sunsets are beautiful. I don't know why the sunsets are nicer in Cancun than Playa. I don't know why, but I find like it's very pretty, but like the vibe in Cancun is very Americanized. Donc c'est Cancun, c'est très 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 américanisé. T'as des couchers de soleil et levées de soleil qui est absolument incroyable. Puis si tu vas à la Isla Mujeres, c'est super facile. Par contre, c'est une vibe vraiment touristique. Puis pour moi, je trouve que c'est une vibe très fake. It's fake a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like everything is like, c'est comme un Vegas mexicain. It's like a Mexican Vegas, right? Like
Exactly.
To me, it's too much. Like I'm someone like Playa to me is like, it's a little bit slower and it's very like a little bit calmer. It's a little bit more local. It's a little bit less, as you say, well, it's touristic, but not as, I feel, Americanized as Cancun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Playa, like you say, it's more local. You can have more. You can be more in touch with the Mexican culture, like you will be in Cancun.
Yeah.
It's less crowded than Cancun, and we like a calm way of living here.
Yeah.
And as you go south, in Puerto Venturas is kind of like Puerto Morelos, but it's also a good place for someone who's looking for more fisher town and like Miami. It's very like Miami, you know.
Oh, yeah?
You can have a jet over there.
A what? A jet?
A jet. A boat, you know, over there. They have boat slips in Puerto Venturas. So whenever someone's looking for a close community with a boat slip, there's the only place that I recommend. That and Puerto Cancun, which is also a nice place, the only nice place in Cancun that I really recommend, and for someone who's looking for a boat slip.
Yeah. And then you have Akumal.
Exactly. We have now. You're getting all the places.
Yes.
Yeah, we have Akumal after Puerto Venturas, and Akumal is also a small town, but it's a really nice place to get in touch with nature. You have some turtle nests over there, so a lot of the local culture are really in touch with these activities to preserve the animal life over there, you know. And it's very nice. I like going over there to just come and swim with turtles, big turtles you will see in the Nemo movie.
Yeah, I went swimming with them. It was beautiful. Yeah. I also like it's very like hippie boho Akumal too. It's very nice. You have a lot of like little verdurias. It's like super super nice. It's like I love it. Like local fruits and stuff. Like it's really something that I like to go to. Is like go to like the local fruit shops and things like that. À Akumal, les tortues. Donc Akumal c'est une petite ville passée par Puerto Venturas qui, c'est une très petite communauté, c'est pas très grand. C'est environ 45 minutes de playa, 45 minutes from playa. Il y a 45 minutes de playa et c'est une place où les gens vont vivre s'ils veulent plus être en contact avec la nature. And then after you have where I live, where I'm going to be living, Xpuja. You have Xpuja is before Akumal though.
Xpuja, it's between Akumal and Puerto Venturas.
Yeah.
It's like 25 minutes away from Playa del Carmen.
Yeah.
It's like a really hidden place to live, you know?
It's like there's nothing though.
Exactly.
Like the Chedraui is like 20 minutes away or something, which is Chedraui, c'est une épicerie. Fait que où est-ce que moi j'habite, c'est vraiment dans la nature, il n'y a rien là. L'épicerie la plus proche est à 20 minutes. Non, pas 20 minutes, like 10 minutes I think maybe.
Yeah.
It's the Chedraui in Akumal, right?
Yeah, it's in the middle from Akumal to Puerto Venturas, and it's also in the middle from Tulum and Playa del Carmen, which is nice because you can have a boho chic vibe in Tulum, or you can come to Playa and have a little bit more, a different type of nightlife and places to go and people you see around the streets, you know?
Parlons des finances. Parce qu'il y a beaucoup de gens qui me demandent comment on fait pour acheter une propriété ici. You cannot mortgage a house here. No. Tu ne peux pas hypothéquer une maison. So, c'est quoi nos options? What are the options when you buy here?
Okay, yeah, like you said, you cannot mortgage here your properties. So there are less options, but these are options that a lot of foreigners are using, like yourself, you know. So you can have a mortgage back home with a less interest rate than you will have here in Mexico, because you guys over there have less than 2%, and here we have more than 7% of mortgage, right?
Yeah.
And you can also find some developer that offers self-direct financing. So you will pay like 30% down payment, which is the most common down payment that most of the developers will ask you. And they ask for a monthly payment between the time of the construction. And some of them, they will ask you for a 20% at the end, which is the lowest that they can leave for the end, you know? Also, you can have different down payment depending on what's the discount that you're looking for.
Yeah.
The highest down payment that you leave, the highest discount they will give to you.
Yeah, well, like what I did for my property in Tulum.
Exactly.
But il a fallu que ici, tu peux pas hypothéquer une maison. Par contre, ce que tu peux faire, c'est réhypothéquer ta maison au Québec, puis prendre par exemple la balance, puis l'appliquer ici. C'est pas toutes les banques qui l'autorisent, mais si c'est une possibilité, ça c'est une option. Comme qu'il a mentionné ici, c'est impossible d'avoir un taux d'intérêt. C'est impossible d'avoir une hypothèque. Les taux d'intérêt ici sont excessivement élevés. On peut trouver du 7 à même du 15% pour les banques mexicaines. Donc, c'est très, très, très difficile d'obtenir une hypothèque ici en tant que Mexicain. Par contre, il y a des développeurs qui offrent, par exemple, des termes de paiement sur 1 an. Donc, pendant la construction, on met 30% au début et on paye par mois. Quand même, ça demande du liquide, des fonds qui sont disponibles pour faire l'achat. Otherwise, there's no other really options. Il n'y a pas d'autres options. Donc, il faut avoir le liquide ou soit réhypothéquer la maison. Quand les gens viennent ici, en tant que touristes, ils ont droit à 6 mois sur leur permis de visa. Ensuite, il faut retourner au Québec ou au Canada puis revenir. Cependant, vous pouvez faire comme moi puis obtenir un permis de résidence temporaire ou permanente. Puis Manuel m'a encore aidé parce que c'est un de mes meilleurs amis ici. I said you're one of my best friends here, so you helped me obtain my residency.
Yeah.
What were the steps that we took? Finally, Taco Tuesdays.
Yeah, finally it's Taco Tuesday.
Salud.
Salud.
Minus almost all done.
Yeah. Well, there's different ways for a foreigner to own the Mexican residence. it depends a lot of the situation of each one. You know, if you have a business back home, if you're an employee, if you're retired, it depends. It changes a lot. So we will need to set an appointment with the specialist that I work with here in Mexico, and they will ask different questions to know the exact situation of the person, and depending of that, he will recommend us the way to obtain that residence. Because sometimes we can start the process from back home, which will be easier and less expensive. But if you end up being here and you find this amazing lifestyle to be your choice to live from now on, and you want to start the process being here in the country, it's a different process and can be a little bit more expensive, you know, but you can also make it happen.
Yeah.
So it depends a lot on the situation of each person.
And how much is the residency? From what price to what price bracket?
Okay, it can go from 1,000 to 4,500 US exactly. Because a lot of prices here in Mexico, most of the time goes in pesos, which is the local currency, or in US, because it has been growing for 15, 20 years now as a foreign market, and at the beginning was a mostly American market. That's why a lot of the currency we use, it's US or pesos.
Okay. Someone says, I heard that Mexico is very dangerous. What places are safe? J'ai entendu dire que le Mexique était dangereux. Quelles sont les places les plus safe? Je vais vous donner mon opinion honnête. J'ai habité aux États-Unis assez longtemps. J'ai habité à Los Angeles. J'ai jamais eu le sentiment d'insécurité comme j'ai eu quand j'habitais à Los Angeles. Ça fait à peu près 3 ans maintenant que je viens ici, 6 mois par année. Maintenant, je suis ici pour l'année. Et à Los Angeles, j'ai été en plein milieu d'un shootout. Quand j'étais à New York, j'ai failli me faire poignarder. J'étais avec Olivier, on était à Brooklyn. Il y a quelqu'un qui a pullé un knife sur nous, qui nous a mis avec un couteau. Donc, si on compare les États-Unis avec le Mexique, peut-être que c'est subjectif à vous et à votre perception, mais pour moi, j'ai jamais eu le sentiment de danger ici, encore. Peut-être que ça va m'arriver, on le souhaite pas. Par contre, ça m'est arrivé à plusieurs reprises, en si peu de temps, à nombreuses reprises, aux États-Unis. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're a Mexican and you moved from Monterrey to Playa.
Yeah, and I've been to other countries, and I think there's always bad people in every part of the world, you know.
Yeah.
But there's different type of crime going on depending on the countries. Like you said, in the U.S., unfortunately, I have family living in the U.S. and it's sad the stories that I hear from them, from the news, that you can be shot in a shopping mall, in a school, I mean, in a hospital. That's sad.
Do things happen here? Sorry.
No.
Does it happen here?
No. Whenever something like that remotely happen in some states or whatever, it comes national news because it's not very often common, you know. Of course, the crimes that happen more commonly are drugs related, like you said. So when someone comes here and is not involved in that kind of living and that kind of people around them, it can be a really safe place to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I've walked with you guys at night, going outside from having dinner. We walk in the field, nothing happened to us. We walked to the car, and it was all good. And the same happened in Tulum. You know, we've been over there. We've been outside and going out at night. And since we're not related to that circle of people, nothing has happened to us.
Yeah. Et je crois aussi qu'il faut qu'on utilise la logique. La sécurité va avec. Est-ce que tu te promènes tard le soir? Est-ce que tu te promènes avec des choses qui valent cher? C'est sûr que si vous vous promenez autant dans Brooklyn ou downtown LA avec une sacoche Louis Vuitton à 3 h du matin, il y a des risques calculés autant qu'à Los Angeles, autant qu'à Montréal, autant qu'au Mexique.
I want to tell you the first reason or the mainly reason that I get into this business is because I wanted foreigners to have a better sense of Mexico. Then it's drug related, it's tequila and sombreros, and it's not a good place to live. And I wanted to meet new people and to help them find a better way to live. That's why I get into this business. So really, I don't think this is a dangerous place to live in.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone is asking about working here. Donc, il y a quelqu'un qui demande, trouver du travail, est-ce facile? Je pense pas que c'est avantageux de trouver un travail ici. Manuel, il va dire, c'est quoi le salaire average du mois? You're a realtor, so you're lucky to have, your job and work for your business.
Yeah.
But an average worker, I'm going to let you talk about that because I know it's still extreme poverty. So we need to be aware that people here are living in extreme poverty as well. And people need to be conscious of that if you work here and you're working in a bar, how many pesos a day are people winning?
Oh, that's a tough one because, the salary here is very different than you will find in other developed countries, like the US, like Canada, like Brazil, Spain, whatever, France. So I think that most of the people that come here to work, they're having an online work, they're digital nomads, which is very common these days. It's people that come and work from home and they can easily walk to the beach at night and have a drink at a nice bar like we are right now and go back home and keep working. So that's kind of the work that I will recommend for most of them, because otherwise will be related to tourists, like working in a hotel, working in a cruise, because we have Cozumel 20 minutes away in a ferry, which is a nice, a big place where a lot of crews come here and they ship away, so it will be tourist related.
Yeah. And I heard people, if you work here, it's like 1,000 pesos a month.
Yeah.
1,000 pesos a month, 1,000 pesos par mois, c'est environ $90 par mois.
A week.
A week.
Yeah, 1,000 pesos a week.
C'est $90 par semaine. C'est le salaire moyen.
It's very poor comparing with what you can have with other type of job.
Exactly. Donc, le but, c'est, si vous voulez vous expatrier, le but, c'est de comprendre que si vous venez travailler ici, le mode de vie ou le rythme de vie que vous avez peut-être au Québec, ça ne sera pas le même, mais au moins vous avez accès à la nature, vous avez accès à la jungle, vous avez accès à un côté plus minimaliste, mais vous n'allez quand même pas vivre de la même façon que si vous avez un emploi du Québec et vous travaillez en télétravail ici ou vous êtes propriétaire d'une entreprise, un peu comme moi. Pour celles et ceux qui demandent pour s'ouvrir un commerce ici. Encore là, c'est tricky. If you want to open up a shop or a store here, how does it work?
Yeah. A lot of foreigners that whenever they come, they found that this is a nice place to grow. Yeah. Including their business and as a people and their business. So they start looking for opportunities to set up a nice business that will give them something to do on a daily basis and also an income. So there's retail that can be rented, can be sold, can be purchased, and a lot of shops have been known for foreigners. I know some places here in downtown, there are Italians, there are Canadians, there are Americans. It's a very well place to work as well, to have a known business.
Yeah. Les enfants pour l'école. Donc, the question is about school, but for me, I'm going to answer because I have kids here. Donc, mes enfants ici fréquentent une école Waldorf. L'école Waldorf, c'est une école qui est autosuffisante. C'est des écoles qui se retrouvent majoritairement à l'extérieur, à la jungle ou sur le bord de la mer. Ils focusent sur travailler sur les forces de l'enfant et non leur punir sur leurs faiblesses, tandis que dans la mentalité un peu plus corporate ou Montessori, ça va être plus dans des livres, ça va être aussi plus dans le moule de si on passe pas une matière, on coule au complet. Ici, c'est pas comme ça. Ici, on focus sur les forces. Et les faiblesses, on les travaille, mais sans culpabilité et sans nuire à l'avancement de l'enfant. Ils vont apprendre des mathématiques avec les roches, ils vont apprendre différentes langues, ils vont apprendre à nettoyer les eaux, ils vont apprendre à faire du compost, ils vont vraiment travailler sur aider la planète aussi, autant qu'apprendre sur les droits de l'humain. C'est vraiment des écoles qui sortent du moule, donc ils ne font pas partie du système gouvernemental. Ils sont reconnus, mais ils ne vont pas suivre les recommandations du gouvernement quand ça vient en termes on parle de restrictions et tout avec la situation actuelle. Ils suivent leur protocole à eux. Ça, c'est ce qu'on voulait pour nos enfants. C'est une des raisons principales pourquoi on est parti du Québec en attendant. C'était pour les instaurer dans de quoi de plus allégé, quelque chose de plus rafraîchissant, quelque chose de moins structuré dans un moule dans la boîte. Donc, pour l'intégration, c'est anglais et espagnol. Il y a des écoles, je pense, qui offrent 3 langues, mais les 3 langues, c'est plus systémique. Donc, on rentre dans le gouvernement, on rentre avec les restrictions s'il y en a lorsque le vlog va sortir. Mais c'est plus dans le système, dans la boîte, dans la moule, dans l'idée de ça ressemble au Québec. Pour les Français, is there a lot of like French schools here? Not really.
French schools?
Yeah, it's more English and Spanish?
Yeah, it's more English, but there are some schools that are incorporating French in their way of teach.
Okay.
Maybe I should do a blog about it.
Yeah, for sure.
The different schools here in Playa that I will recommend that I know are good schools for foreigners. A lot of CEOs from companies here in Mexico and abroad, they put their kids over there, so I know for sure it's schools good.
Good schools.
Yeah.
Pour les services en général, comme obtenir un permis de conduire, ouvrir un compte de banque, il faut que vous ayez votre résidence en premier lieu, soit temporaire, permanente ou votre passeport mexicain si vous avez déjà eu votre résidence permanente. Ça, c'est un peu l'échelle pour obtenir vos papiers au Mexique. Pour avoir un compte de banque, la procédure est quand même c'est long, pareil comme procédure, parce que ici, les services gouvernementaux, les services plus sociaux, c'est un peu plus difficile parce que le service est très long. Il y a beaucoup de gens, pas assez d'employés et c'est long. Donc, il faut avoir votre papier de résidence, il faut avoir 2 preuves de facture comme compte de taxes, compte d'eau, compte d'électricité, compte de cellulaire de votre résidence actuelle. Aujourd'hui, c'est ça ce qu'on a fait. We went to open up a bank account. We needed to have all the water bills and my residence papers. Are people allowed to open bank accounts without having a residency?
No, they're not.
No?
No,
Okay.
they need to have first the residence. Then they could open a bank account and do a lot of other tramits, you know, like having a driver's license.
Yeah.
A lot of things. So the first step will need to be having your residence.
And I have a good question. What's the tax bracket here? Let's say somebody works here or somebody opens up a business. What is the tax that they pay? Because in Canada, we have crazy amounts of tax. Well, Canada. In Quebec, we have so many taxes. It's insane. It's so much. Au Québec, on a vraiment beaucoup de taxes. Ici, si vous ouvrez une compagnie, vous travaillez ici, par exemple, c'est seulement applicable si vous obtenez des pesos. Si vous travaillez du Canada puis vous êtes expatrié ici, vous devez l'argent au gouvernement québécois. Ici, si vous gagnez de l'argent ici, what is the tax bracket?
Okay, here it depends a lot on the money that it's coming into your bank account. For example, it can go from 100,000 pesos to 500,000 pesos. They have certain amount of taxes that they can pay, and so on. You know, it goes changing, but it's between 16 to 20% of tax.
Yeah. So it's kind of like Quebec, but sometimes we pay like 25%.
Wow.
Yeah, that's Quebec. Sometimes even 28, depending on how much you earn. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Another question. Parlons du système de santé, the healthcare system. Ce qui est bien ici, c'est que vous avez deux options. Vous avez le privé, vous avez le public. In Canada, we only have public systems. So you pay 25% of taxes, but you still have the government who is not investing enough in nurses, in hospital care. And you have an accident, you wait for 25 hours, 40 hours. It's in such bad conditions because the government is not taking care of the hospitals and the healthcare system, even though we're paying so much. So here, I still consider the tax bracket to be a little high. When it comes to public, I know the private is like, I have private healthcare, and it's like they give me a cappuccino on a gold platter. Like it's the best, one of the best healthcare systems I've seen in my whole life. I got an operation in London. I've lived in Los Angeles. The best really was here. The healthcare is so good. When it comes to public, let's say someone is living here, doesn't have access to private healthcare. What is the situation here in local or public hospitals?
The local and public health care here in Mexico, it's really one of the I'll say, in my opinion, that it's one of the things that needs to be worked as well as in Canada. That's why a lot of private healthcare has been growing up. Gracias. So yeah, there's a lot of private healthcare, but if you don't have to pay for a private healthcare, there's good places to go here. There's one that it's close to where we're going to have your driver's license soon, hopefully. So it's they have good doctors. You know, a lot of the doctors here are really good, so good that they can also be reach out from U.S. Hospitals to work over there because they know they're very qualified, they're really prepared, and some of them they speak more than one language, so they're also being seek for other countries to work as well. I know a lot of doctors that have been reached out from a Spain hospital to work over there because they know here in Mexico it's one of the best medical healthcare system that we can have in this part of the country, you know.
In the Riviera Maya.
Yeah, exactly.
So tout ce qu'il dit, c'est applicable pour la Riviera Maya et non, not for everywhere in Mexico, because I'm sure in Mexico there's some places that it's really rough. I've also heard that some hospitals are rough, public ones, where like women are giving birth in the hallways. Do we see this here?
No, here in Riviera we don't see that.
No.
We see in other states that are let's develop in that area, specific area. The healthcare here in Riviera, I will say it's one of the best in the public healthcare here in Riviera. It's one of the best in the country.
And if someone doesn't get like a private health insurance and they're a resident and they go to a public hospital, do they have to pay anyways, or because they're a resident, it's free?
No, they will have to pay anyways. But I know a person that works with health insurance, and she's the best here. That's the one girl that I will recommend you to seek through your options and see what can you afford and what's the best option for you to have a good healthcare here in Playa. Medical tourism. Medical tourism is referred to the people that travel from Canada, from the US to have a medical procedure here in Mexico, because it's cheaper to buy your flight, book your stays, have your procedure, and stay for recovery. It's less expensive than, it's more affordable than you will have in the US and you will have in Canada.
Absolutely.
So I know for sure that in the US, whenever a job offers you medical health dentist insurance, it's like a keeper, you know. It's like don't lose that job even if you don't like your boss. But here in Mexico it's more affordable. A lot of people come here to have something done, and nose, boobs, whatever you mentioned.
Absolutely.
So a lot of places here has been growing and focus on that type of traveler, having residence next to a medical healthcare place, a condo. So having condos built in a way that how do you say, like on
floors?
No, the thing where they carry you in
a bed.
Yeah, like when you're
a civière. Une civière.
Camilla.
Camilla?
Yeah, I don't know the.
Civière.
Yeah. They build the condos in a way that you can get into your condo in that
thing. That's really
in that
good.
thing. Yeah.
Someone asked me actually 2 relevant questions. Obligé d'acheter ou si on peut louer à long terme pour la citoyenneté? Can they rent? Can people rent if they're not a resident here?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's a. You're welcome to come over here to have a place with Airbnb or rent it in some company that focus on longer stays, you know. And it's also one of the things that made this real estate market different, because also a lot of foreigners say to me like, hey Manuel, I want to invest, but I won't be living over there full time, so I want someone to rent my place, to have an income to pay my bills at least, you know. I won't live for it or so, but I want it to be like at least booked to pay my bills. It's always a welcoming place for travelers.
Someone also said, is it complicated to buy a property if you're not a resident?
No.
What about fideicomiso?
Oh.
Because a lot of people ask about fideicomiso, and people think, dans le fond, lorsque vous achetez une propriété ici, il faut que vous ouvriez un fideicomiso à la banque. Ça veut dire que la propriété va être au-dessus, dans le fond, vous allez avoir votre nom avec la propriété et la banque au-dessus de vous. La raison pourquoi, c'est why do we have a fideicomiso? La propriété vous appartient. Par contre, la banque, elle est là pour garantir que vous êtes la seule et unique propriétaire. So the bank kind of guarantees that you are the owner, they're above you, but it also protects the lands, right? Mexico.
Yeah, exactly. Fideicomiso or bank trust, it's a way for the government to protect both ways, you know. It's like a Mexican bank vouching for you, saying, I know this person, I know their background, and they can have a property here in Mexico. That's one of the 2 ways to have a property here in Mexico. The other way could be having a company, a foreigner company owning a Mexican company which owns the property. But I will recommend that option more for people that have already more than one property or are going to work full-time here and live full-time here. If this is your first property or your first investment in Mexico, I will recommend you the fideicomiso or the bank trust, which is very easy. It's very common. It's very safe. It's like having a property to your name. It's just someone in the middle, but you can sell it. You can give it to your son, to your loving one. You know, it's the same. There's also a lot of information
People
going.
are saying like you.
Yeah, you can. I know you can have a property there.
It's not your money. You're never gonna be able to sell it and take your money. The bank takes it. There's so much bullshit that's out there. So it's really good that you're able to explain that. No, it's just for them to protect the coastlines, right?
Yeah, and there sometimes that's people that work directly with a seller. But it was someone that it wasn't the owner of the land, and that also happens a lot when you're purchasing a super low land with who no one knows about it, who's not from a trusted developer. Like you for example, the one that you choose, it was from one of the best developers here in Playa. They're being here for more than 20 years, building a lot of the places we live here. In fact, they built some parts of Playa Car, which is where you live right now, where you're renting. So when they're trying to find their way to buy a property directly, that's when they're at the most risk of being scammed, you know? That's why I will really recommend to work with a realtor here in Playa, a certified realtor. Even if it's not me, you should choose someone that you can trust and you can put your confidence in, because a lot of the time it's all your savings, and I know it can be scary to invest all your savings in a land that you don't know, with a language that you don't speak. So please keep in mind that we all work for buyers. So that means that we tell you the good things and not so good things about each property, you know. So that's the best way to go.
Amazing. Yeah, there's a lot of people like telling me like, oh, there's a fideicomiso. I'm like, no. It's like I know so many people who invested and bought and sold and bought and sold. And if it was like this, there would not be half a Playa Car owned by like super baller Americans who are like buying and selling and buying and selling.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So
this is not, you will not be the first foreigner buying a land or a property here in Playa. So don't worry, we got your back.
Si jamais vous avez des questions, n'hésitez pas à les poster en commentaire. Je suis très souvent avec Manuel. Ça va nous faire plaisir de faire un autre Q&A, répondre aux questions que peut-être qu'on n'a pas répondu. Sur ce, j'espère que vous avez aimé ce petit vlog informatique. Si vous avez aimé le vlog, on va y faire prendre un shot de tequila. Like, subscribe, puis stay tuned. Salut!
Cheers. Salud.
I'm Mexican now. I can say
You're
salud.
Mexican.
Salud.
Salud.
Arriba.